I'm very fucking cool. Let me tell you why.
Okay, so these are the couple other artists. And this is Billy. Hi, Billy.
Hey, how's it going?
Okay. So, Billy, what are you up to?
At the moment I'm multitasking a lot, juggling a million different projects. I've been doing some film editing, shooting some footage around the chateau, working on like programming some arts festivals, and I was just about to go and visit Leslie because we're working on like a shadow puppet play together. Called Van Gogh's Masterpiece.
Hilarious. I cannot wait. When is that going to be shown?
I think we were talking about maybe Wednesday or Thursday night. I can't quite remember what we decided.
Right.
But yeah, it'll just be a quick thing before dinner. And,
Great.
Yeah, we've managed to find like a whole crew of people to get involved.
Right. It started as 2 or 3, and I think it keeps expanding every time I talk to you guys.
Yeah, exactly.
That's so great.
Yeah.
And so you also are a musician, yes? Back home?
Yeah.
Back home is, where is back home?
I live in Melbourne in Australia.
Right.
And I play mainly the drums, a little bit of guitar, and sometimes I sing.
Yeah.
And when I say sing, I mean like it's mostly like talk singing, but you know, it works.
Right, okay.
Yeah,
very cool.
So I haven't been working on music here, although I have been, we're putting out some singles, so I've been listening to the mixes and writing some notes and working on it that way. Okay, yeah, so the first thing I showed during the presentation was a song called Very Cool and Smart Person by my band Billy Cart. And what I wanted to show with that was kind of a work in progress of where the song is at currently. So that's going to be one of our debut singles, and at the moment we're working on the mix. So yeah, that's the second mix of the song. It still needs a bit more work, but what I was trying to show was like where it's at. I showed the notes so people could see kind of where my thinking was at, and it kind of will keep evolving and go from there.
I'm very fucking cool. Let me tell you why. Let me have your attention. Please listen to me. I like to roll my own cigarettes and smoke them in the alleyway. I feel so cool when I'm squatting down and you walk past, look at me. Please listen to me. I'm cool and I'm smart and I'm nice. I've got a lot of shit to say, and I read a lot of books.
Right. And then the second song by Dale, who's singing and wrote it, and you're playing the drums.
Yeah, so...
and doing backup.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, on Ryan I'm playing the drums and backing vocals.
Backing vocals.
And on Very Cool and Smart Person, drums and vocals.
Right, and you also wrote that. And then...
When I was 8 years old, I nearly drowned my older brother. Caught in a panic, I dragged him down to save myself. It was a purely instinctual response. I didn't mean for that to happen. For out on our own, I wondered how things would have been. Now I try to be more deliberate, always try to avoid a scene, calmly avoid the panic, remain in control. That's just the way things go.
Do you feel more pulled toward music, or do you feel like they're pretty equal? They're taking equal residence in your mind.
Yeah, I definitely think they're equal. And I used to really worry about doing too much stuff, like spreading out too far, and I was worried about kind of always being on the surface of things and not really going deep into the potential of a certain medium. And I used to talk about this a lot with one of my mentors who helped me a lot when I was doing a residency in Melbourne for a year. Well, it turned into 2.5 years, but yeah, that was life-changing. That's another story. But he was
This was an artist residency?
Yeah.
Oh, how cool.
Yeah, it was great. Yeah, and he kind of reassured me that the main thing really is to just follow your creativity, and the path that is going to open is going to be the right one as long as you're kind of following that. And I think with time, it's been a few years since I used to worry about that stuff. With time, I think it's become much clearer, and for me, it's just following the obsession, basically.
Yeah, good advice. So talk to me about the film. The first one is Billy.
Yeah, the first film that I did was called Billy, and I hadn't studied film, so I was very, very new to that world, and I was really lucky to have lots of friends who were there to help me make it and also teach me about the process of making a film. The way it came about was that one of my really good friends told me that there was this competition at uni where you could submit a script, and if it got chosen, the uni would give you a bit of money to make it. I was lucky enough that my script was one of the ones that was chosen, and then from there I kind of enlisted my film friends to help me make it happen, which was, yeah, an amazing experience.
And talk to me about the choice to do subtitles.
Yeah, so originally the film is not how we saw it the other night. It had, you know, audio. You could hear characters' voices and the soundtrack, and it was much more straight up. And I decided to rework it because I've always kind of wanted the film to be a little bit different. It's like anything when you're doing something for the first time, or even if you're not doing it for the first time, with time you look back on things and you reconsider and reflect and think about how you do it next time.
Right.
So I thought this residency was a good time to try and explore that a bit and see what I can actually do with it. So I thought that putting in the soundtrack slowed down and then subtitles for the dialogue was an interesting way of taking it into a different feel. Like the mood is completely different, and it's much more kind of quiet and like a little bit insular. Like the audience is reading the subtitles in their head, and it's kind of gives you a lot more freedom as an audience member to imagine things a bit more and flesh things out, because you're not hearing anyone's voice but your own. So you are kind of the audience, but also in the film, because you're creating an element of it in your head.
Right. And then the next film was Pasta Girl.
Yeah. So after that I had so much fun making Billy. I wanted to make another film, and the next one was Past the Girl, which I wrote and directed. And again, I was kind of learning as I was going and had really amazing people helping me to make it happen. And it's screened at a few festivals, and now it's on an Australian streaming service which promotes like films by women and non-binary people and stuff. So yeah, that was a lot of fun. Again, I always just want to do things better and better, so I like to think the next film that I'm working on now, I like to think that will be the best one yet.
Good. That's fantastic. So what were your thoughts when you applied here and found that you'd gotten in? Did you have specific ideas if I'm going to do this and this? And also, did you apply and get in prior to COVID, or was this, so talk to me about all that.
So I applied in 2019, and I was told that I was accepted in 2020, and my residency was scheduled for 2021, and now we're here, a year later. I think it's been, this whole story of this residency for me has been amazing, because I feel that so much has happened in such a short period of time. 2019 is not that long ago really, but because of all the things that I've been lucky enough to do in the meantime and all the opportunities that have happened since then, I really feel like a completely different person in a way. And it was really interesting, like they put up our bios and our image on our studio door, and what's written on the statement is like what we wrote in our application, which I completely forgot about because it's been years. And so when I read that, it was kind of like really just very special and like a little bit humbling, and made me a bit reflective about what has happened since then. And I feel like 2019 is like a lifetime ago, not just because of COVID, but because of the passage of time and the nature of life. It's a world away really. So it felt really special.
So what was written in your bio that sort of made you think, oh?
I think it was like mostly just remembering what it was like for me to apply and where I was at. I had just finished uni, and I was lucky enough that I didn't have to worry about life, and I was living with my parents and I had a job and stuff, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna take a break and just focus on art and see what happens, because that is what I'm most obsessed with in life. So that's where I was at, kind of like still wondering what could happen. And I'm always wondering what could happen, but that was really like the start of it. So I think it's mostly just remembering that time, like when I was really starting out doing stuff. Which I'm still young, I still am learning and starting out, but I think it was just really special to remember that time.
So when you finally did get here, did you have ideas when you arrived, just prior to arriving, this is what I'm going to work on, or did you have a thought, or did you think I'm going to wing it, see what happens?
When I first applied, I was definitely like, I'm going to wing it. And then when it actually came time to come here and be here, I did have a bit of, I wouldn't say a plan, but I had ideas. I knew that there were some projects that I had to bring with me from Melbourne because they're happening as soon as I get back. So there was always that part of stuff that I have to do while I'm here. I'm also studying, so I've had to do a little bit of uni while I'm here, but most of my friends are catching me up on what I'm missing. And then aside from that, I knew that this was going to be a really reflective time and a really creative time. And so my supervisor at uni, I'm doing a master's, and she's like an amazing supervisor. She gave me this book to read while I'm here. And that's been really, really
What's
special.
the book?
It's called Post-Human Knowledge by Rosie Braidotti. Highly recommend. I'm 2 chapters in, it's very good.
There we go.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, and so like that, as well as just wanting to come here with a camera and just absorb myself in what's around me and capture it. That was my main plan, really. And those 2 things ended up coming together. A lot of what I'm interested in right now and what I'm doing in my master's is using the moving image and music to think through ideas about consciousness and dreaming. And I've been kind of thinking through that in relation, thinking through that and connecting it to this book I'm reading. And I'm seeing like links and similarities, and those ideas started feeding into this thing that I'm filming around here, which follows like a kind of character who's narrating and talking to the audience. And it's kind of my way of thinking through things, really. I think that's what art is for me.
So that brings up a whole slew of new questions, but okay, so we're going to just talk about the last thing, which is any big takeaways, any surprises, any. Sounds like there might be.
Yeah, definitely. I think that a main thing of this residency is that it feels like another world here, and that world is beautiful, both naturally and kind of spiritually, I guess. It's very special to be in a place or in a world where all you have to worry about is art. Mm-hmm. That is, to me, the ultimate luxury and the ultimate life. So I think that's been the main surprising thing. I didn't quite realize how absorbed I would be in this universe that's been created here. Mm-hmm. And I will always be really grateful for that, because I think, yeah, it's just so refreshing and invigorating, and I will always remember this.